Hello, so welcome to today's lesson, which is on reserves, resource, and stock. So this is a lesson just to sort of define what these key terms are, and then we'll talk about why they're important. So to start with, reserves. Reserves are the material that can be exploited now. So the amount of ores or mineral that can be exploited now. So this means with current technology. And it's like the smallest amount that there is in the whole planet. And I'll talk a bit more about what that means. But it can change if, for example, market prices increase. Then the reserve will get bigger. And this is because we can start to economically extract lower quality ores or ores in difficult places or things like that. Economic viable to extract lower quality ores. And like all the things that affected mining viability are what will go into deciding whether an ore that we find in the earth falls within the reserve or if it falls in somewhere else. So there's three reserves. We've got inferred reserves, probable reserves, and proven reserves. So if we just define what these three things are, this is where it could be predicted. The ore or the mineral can be predicted from knowledge of geological processes, but not enough information exists to estimate amount that is economically viable. Okay, so we go and do our mineral exploration. We do some remote sensing. We find an igneous intrusion, and we assume that there will be some fault lines and there'll be some useful minerals there. But we don't know exactly how much. We haven't gone and done any more detailed survey work. Our next one then is probable reserves. So we can, this is where we have more information and we can estimate amount of mineral that can be economically exploited. And this means that we can justify further exploration. So perhaps we've done like a seismic survey and we've worked out exactly where there is likely to be ore deposits because we found the sort of ancient hydrothermal vents or some like oil or whatever it might be from that information. And so we can go out then and prove whether it's there by doing some drilling some trial drilling and chemical analysis. So our proven reserves means that we've got more information again. And probably done some trial drilling. And we can accurately estimate the amount that could be economically extracted. So we can go to the bank with that information and say, we definitely know how much is down there. We've done some trial drilling. We've worked out where everything is. And that's really valuable, but really expensive to reach that point. So next one then, resource. So the resource is all the material theoretically available for exploitation. However, this includes deposits that can be exploited. So these are our sort of reserves that we've just talked about. But also plus any deposits that are potentially exploitable. So that could be potentially exploited based off of improved technology or increased market demand that results in increased prices for that mineral. Okay. So these are typically things that are deep resources, like they could be low grade, so they're not very pure, so it becomes quite expensive to get to them. Difficult chemical form, or in locations that are protected. So they could become usable in the future. If those sort of conditions are met. And our last bit then that we're going to look at just now is stock, which we also call the resource base. So this includes all material in the lithosphere. Okay, so this is stuff that we can, this includes all the resource and the reserves, which technically are in the same thing, and then everything that it's not viable to mine. So stuff that is way too deep or in a form that we can never exploit, like a chemical form that's too difficult to extract from, in super protected places, all these sort of things. So they will never be technologically or economically exploitable. Now, why are these all quite important things to bear in mind? Well, this is because it takes a long time to build and start producing from a mine. And it's very expensive to like prove the reserves. So this means that we might have knowledge of resources from the stock identified by remote sensing, and when market conditions change or technology, then we might start looking to convert these resources into proven reserves via trial drilling. And then this increases the size of the reserve and allows us to exploit it.